Welcome to the Explainer. You know, if you've ever tried to teach something, design a course, or even just explain an idea to someone, you've hit the exact same wall we all do. And it comes down to one question. Who are we really talking to?
Okay, so let me ask you something, and be honest. Have you ever described yourself as a visual learner, or maybe an auditory one? I bet you have. This idea that we all have a specific learning style, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, it's absolutely everywhere. And it seems to make perfect sense, right? Just figure out the style, match the teaching to it, and voila, learning just kind of happens. But what if that's not even close to the real story?
Well, this is where things get really interesting. The book we're diving into, Design for How People Learn, just cuts right through all that. It makes a super clear point. While we all have things we prefer, there's actually very, very little hard science to back up the idea that teaching to a specific style makes any real difference. It's basically a myth.
So if we just throw out the whole idea of sorting people into these little learning style boxes, what's left? Well, it actually frees us up to ask a much better, much more important question. It shifts our focus away from these labels and towards something way more fundamental. What is their experience actually like?
The real problem, the thing we all struggle with, has a name. It's called the expert's blind spot. You might also know it as the curse of knowledge. Basically, once you become good at something, it is almost impossible to remember what it was like to be a total beginner. You completely forget the jargon that made no sense and the steps that felt so confusing. And here's what that blind spot looks like in the real world. For you, the expert, a task is just a simple, logical process. The next steps are obvious. But for your learner, oh man, they just see a bunch of confusing jargon. They see scary new procedures. They see a giant, overwhelming wall of information. You see a clear, easy path. They see a dense, tangled jungle. And that gap, that's the biggest reason learning fails. So once you realize that, you see that our entire goal has to change. It's not about just downloading information from our brain into theirs. No, the goal has to be something much more human.
Our source material brings up this amazing quote from a game designer, and it just nails it. Think about any great video game you've ever played. It doesn't just throw all the rules at you at once, right? No way. It guides you. It lets you win little victories, building your confidence one step at a time. The whole thing is designed to make you feel like you're getting it, like you're a genius.
And that is our new goal. The whole point of designing any kind of learning isn't just to make people know stuff. It's to make them feel capable. To give them the confidence that, hey, I can actually do this. That feeling is everything. It's what turns information into real-world skill.
Okay, so that sounds great, but how do we actually pull it off? How do we build things that make people feel smart and capable? Let's dig into two really powerful, practical examples from the book.
All right, first up, you've seen them everywhere, right? Those bright yellow and black For Dummies books. It's kind of funny when you think about it. Why on earth would anyone proudly buy a book that literally calls them a dummy?
But here's the absolute genius of it. The real promise of a For Dummies book isn't, hey, you're dumb. The promise is, hey, we won't make you feel stupid. It's a guarantee that we're going to start at the very beginning. We're not going to use a bunch of jargon you don't know. We're removing that fear of looking foolish, which is, let's be honest, a huge reason people don't try new things.
The second example is a lot more hands-on. It's all about one simple idea. Get out of your own head and get into theirs. Stop guessing what they're going through and just go see for yourself.
Now, there's a fancy term for this. It's called contextual inquiry. But don't let the jargon fool you. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful idea. Go watch your learners in their natural habitat. Not in a lab, not in a conference room. You go see how they really work with all the real-world messiness, distractions, and challenges.
And doing it is incredibly simple. Step 1, go to their environment. Step 2, just watch them do their work. Step 3, ask questions while they're doing it. See, this isn't some formal interview. It's a conversation happening right there in the moment. It is, without a doubt, the single best way to shatter your expert's blind spot and finally see what their world is really like. So let's bring it all home. The big takeaway, the fundamental shift we need to make is this. Stop asking, what's their learning style? And start asking, what is their world like? Let's focus all our energy on making them feel capable, not on trying to fit them into some useless category.
And that, of course, leaves us with one last big question.
Once you've done all this work, once you truly understand your learner and see the world through their eyes, what's the very next step? What's the one thing you absolutely have to give them to make sure their journey has a clear purpose? Well, that's exactly what we'll be getting into next time.